I dreamed a dream in time gone by, when hope was high, life worth living. I dreamed that love would never die. I dreamed that God would be forgiving. Hey everybody, Happy New Year. For my first video of 2013, I actually want to review a film that came out in 2012. It came out Christmas Day, so I'm not too far away from the 2013 year here. But I did finally get around to seeing it with my family because they really wanted to see it also. So it's Les Miserables by, or Les, yeah, Les Miserables, we'll call it for now. Whatever you call that. It looks like Les Miserables though, if you really look at it closely. But anyway, it's the latest musical by director Thomas Hooper, or Tom Hooper. He did The King's Speech, which won the Best Picture award for 2010. Um, and this film, you guys, it's actually one of many versions of this Miserables story. There's a black and white version. There was one with like Jeffrey Rush and Uma Thurman. There's several play adaptations of it. It was based off of a book also. So there's just several different versions of this story, and so this is the most recent one that came out. And in this, pretty much in all the versions, I think the story plays out like this also. Um, it's basically Hugh Jackman plays a guy who wants to change his life around. He kind of works for this ship crew during the French Revolution, and he really doesn't like it. He's not respected. His strength isn't very good. He can't lift things very well. And so Russell Crowe kind of plays the captain of the ship that he was a part of. And while he's on land, he gets accepted into this church. And this church is kind of the place that where Hugh Jackman kind of realizes that he really wants to change his life around. He kind of wants to be closer to faith. He wants to do something that will change someone's life, and he won't have to lift all these heavy objects. He won't have to, be on this ship and deal with all these harsh conditions in everyday life. Um, and so he eventually comes across a woman played by Anne Hathaway who is desperate for money. She will do almost anything to make sure her daughter is safe and has food and shelter. Um, and Hugh Jackman promises her when she's very close to dying in this that he's going to take care of this child for as long as he lives. And this young girl eventually turns into Amanda Seyfried, who is kind of the older version of this girl, and basically he watches over her and keeps her promise. And since he's so close to faith at this point in the story, he really makes sure that this girl's making the right decisions. That she's kind of accepted into this royal family of some kind. Several people wanted to take care of her. He kind of took her from place to place to place throughout the course of her life. There was one point where she was kind of taken care of by this couple who was played by Helena Bonham Carter and Sacha Baron Cohen. And she's just been to so many homes, and he's been to so many places ever since he kind of took care of this girl for Anne Hathaway. And so basically, this story is this guy trying to change his life around while also watching over this girl that he promised this poor woman shortly before her death. Um, and pretty much basically everything I just told you is told in the form of a musical. Like almost every scene in this film involves music of some kind, someone singing a solo, or they're singing in an ensemble of some sort. So basically, it's a musical, and that's what the genre is. Um, so as far as the positives and negatives go for this film, you guys, the film looked great. It definitely looked like Tom Hooper spent a lot of time making sure this film looked like it was in the French Revolution, because it really did. It really had kind of the color, the vibes, a lot of the poor people on the street, a lot of like you could definitely tell who the wealthier families were. It had the look and the feeling that you wanted Les Miserables to look like in a film in 2012. He definitely accomplished the look of Les Miserables. Um, Hugh Jackman and Anne Hathaway's singing talents in this were top notch. They were excellent. I had no complaints at all with their singing talents in this. Hugh Jackman, he can hold the longest note possible. I mean, the man can hold. You can have the longest note on the sheet of music, and he'll hold it for that long. Anne Hathaway, her voice, you almost brought a tear to your eye in certain scenes just because, she was in such a tough situation. You really wanted to help her out. It was just a very emotional, very dramatic scenes with her in it. Um, so definitely the singing talents in this, specifically with this actor and this actress, are very good. Um, I loved Hugh Jackman's character. I loved his side of the story in this. I just love the whole idea of this guy kind of in this harsh lifestyle, and he has to change his life around. And he does it through faith. He does it through a religion he strongly believes in, and it gets accepted into. I just really, I think that's just really neat. I think that was definitely one of the neater aspects of the film is kind of this guy figuring out what that change is, what he wants to be, kind of, learning the balance of being his own individual self and taking care of this girl that he promised this woman that he barely even got to meet pretty much. And it was just his side of the story, I thought, was just what really carried the movie along. It really made you curious as to where this film was going. Um, I loved the child actor and actresses they recruited for this film. The actress who played Anne Hathaway's daughter and who later became Amanda Seyfried in the movie was just very good. There was also a little boy in this that also has a very difficult scene to watch in this film too. Just wherever Tom Hooper got these kids for this movie, they all did excellent. They felt very comfortable in front of the camera. You can definitely tell that um, the scenes where they're supposed to sing in, they practice their hearts away on. So singing wise with these child actors and actresses, I was just blown away with. Whoever coached them, whoever taught them to sing this well, did a beautiful job. And I really hope that these kids later find work in other films because I would love to see them come back if we can find child actors who are kind of this good, kind of like Macaulay Culkin and Daniel Radcliffe when he started Harry Potter. And I would just love to see more of those kind of people be a part of the movie experience. Um, some of the film's drama was very effective. Like on the scenes that were meant to be beautiful, they were beautiful. On the scenes that were meant to be sad, they were sad. I don't want to give away the film's ending, but it's very beautiful the way Tom Hooper kind of wraps the film up. It's definitely, it was. Without me getting into too much detail, it does deal with heaven in some way, and the way Tom Hooper does it is just very great. It definitely kind of like with the I haven't posted this video yet, but I have a film about underrated film endings. It just kind of wraps up the film beautifully. It definitely tells you and reflects upon the film you just watched. And like I said, I'm going to have a video about that soon. It just it just reflected the film so well. And like I said, the drama in this film and just the way Tom Hooper wanted you to feel was very effective in this, I thought. As far as the negatives go, I did feel this film was too long. I do think a good 40 minutes of this film could have been cut out. There was just so many scenes in here that just didn't feel necessary or they went on for too long. Even my mom admitted, and she was out of the whole group I went with my family. Even she admitted that this film was too long and could have been trimmed down by a good 30 to 40 minutes. There was just a lot of scenes, as great as some of these other scenes were, that just really go on for too long, or the song goes on for too long. So basically, Tom Hooper needed to make a shorter movie because I think he could have told this film just as effectively in just, let's say, 2 hours and 10 minutes rather than 2 hours and 40 minutes. Um, Russell Crowe and Sacha Baron Cohen singing this, I really was not impressed with. Russell Crowe had the occasional moment where it's like, okay, you got that right. Okay, you got that note right. You got that pitch of that song right. But for the most part, you definitely could tell that Tom Hooper could have hired a better actor who was better at singing. There was just something about Russell Crowe in this that didn't feel right, and they definitely needed to cast someone better in that part because it was such an important role for this story. Um, Sacha Baron Cohen, let me just say right off the bat, I really don't like the guy. Didn't like Borat, didn't like Bruno. Hugo was okay. Um, specifically in this film, I thought he was trying to be Borat in the movie, and to me, you can't do that. He has to respect the source material and really make the character from the play and the book in the movie. Don't play a character you once played. Play this character. And whatever he did in this film, I really didn't like. I was definitely, stone faced when on the scenes where he was trying to be funny, and even though I heard people laugh in the theater on his scenes, it just really did not work. So whatever he was doing in this film, I really didn't care for, and even his singing, really, I was waiting for him to go Borat any second in this. Um, Several scenes did drag out in this. A lot of just dull and uninteresting scenes in here. Specifically, when Hugh Jackman and Anne Hathaway are off screen, there's just a lot of scenes that go flat. Specifically, some scenes where the songs really don't even matter at that point. Um, and that's really too bad because there were so many great songs in this that there was some other ones where it's just like, I don't really care anymore. Just give me the freaking story. Um, and so basically, they didn't need to drag it out for so long for some scenes, and there were just some scenes in here that needed to be more interesting. I did feel that the film needed to feel more like a film and less like a theater production. There was a lot of scenes in here where I definitely felt like they literally just filmed right off of a theater set. I think, because this is a film and because there were so many great shots, specifically in the beginning and in the end, and even in just some later shots that didn't feel like a theater set, where they definitely took advantage of the fact that they could film anywhere they wanted, how big the environment they wanted or small. Um, and there was I just felt like in some scenes they filmed right off of a theater set, and I really didn't like that. There was just a lot of missed opportunities with that, and like I said, I just wish some scenes in here where I felt they should have treated more like a film and less like a theater production. And even if they wanted the homage or tribute, the play of Les Miserables, I think they could have done it in a more tasteful way. But overall, guys, I give this film a 7 out of 10. It's okay. It's definitely nothing to rush off to. Kind of like what my parents were saying when we were driving home from this in the car. Um, it's definitely a one watch experience. It's definitely not a film that I want to own or a film that I want to watch again right away. Um, like I said, it's an okay film. It had its moments. It'll probably get some Oscar nominations and it might even win something, specifically with Hugh Jackman and Anne Hathaway. Um, but it's nothing too notable. Like I said, it's nothing to go run off to right away. There are some special moments in here. Like I said, I like Hugh Jackman's side of the story in this a lot. Um, but overall, like I said, 7 out of 10. It's okay. If you like musicals, if you like this play, it might be worth checking out. And like I said, I hope everybody had a happy new year. And hopefully, I will see you guys again here for another video.